What is up, my arena gamers? Alright, so if you didn't realize before, I did this last season. Now I'm doing it this season since we do have a new weapon. It sort of goes hand in hand with it all. Alright, what we're about to do, if you haven't read the title already, because I'm really stupid and I repeat a lot of things over and over again, but we're doing the tier list for the weapons and arenas. Alright, this does also apply half and half to how you would play in ranked, mostly because of how good the weapons are compared to you playing. But without further ado, get into the ranking. Alright, so how we're doing this list, it's going to be put as guns that can more or less guarantee you a win. There's the typical choices that a lot of people do, in my opinion. There's the round one pick, which you would only pick these like round one. It wouldn't make sense to help you win any other round. I mean, granted, you could probably, but not likely. Then we have the last minute pick, which is more or less like you were AFK for a little bit just prior to about to get that AFK pick, and then you were just like, oh, let me just grab this real quick because it's on my screen. That's that category. And then we have the what the fuck category. I would have put it as the you were AFK, but some of these guns you can't really beat. So we're gonna go down the list. We're gonna figure this out. All right, EVA 8, that is a guaranteed win. You use the EVA 8 at any point in time, you're guaranteeing yourself to win. You use it round one, you just walk up to them and it's like boom, 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 they're dead. If your whole team has them, you just ransacked that other trio of they're all together. Let's see, we have Bowtech twice on here. All right, I'm gonna utilize it this way. This one does not exist at all. This is the Bowtech. Just a word to the wise. We're using these as if you're fully maxing them out, or at least just enough to where they're good. We're not doing it as in like, oh, these are all the base ones, like if you're picking this round one. We're not doing that. So Bowtech, I would say it's a very typical one. It's not so much that it guarantees you a win. Unless you're like really good with it, you're never guaranteed the win with the Bowtech, especially if like you wasted the money on this and now you have to pick a gun that you don't want to use as a secondary. We have a G7 Scout. I would still throw this in a typical. Usually like in the hands of like the pro streamers, big streamers that are really good at aiming. I mean, I've had a couple of guaranteed wins with it, but it all depends on you because not everyone can hit their shots to win. So it's a very typical gun, but I will actually put it higher than the Bowtech because this one can get you a win quicker than the Bowtech will. 30-30 repeater is a definite round one. The only reason, and I used to love the 30-30 repeater, the only reason I say it is a round one pick is solely in the department that the G7 Scout would have more consistent hits than the repeater will. Granted, there's a lot of like that error where it's just like, oh yeah, why would have I hit my shots? Well, it's never gonna be a guaranteed win. It'll always end up either typical round one, but I'm putting in a round one because that's how I feel how it is. What the fuck gun is it? Okay, I believe. Wow. I think they put some guns on here that aren't. They put some guns on here that aren't even like here. Like this, not here. This one is not here. Why? Because devotion's here. All right. So next, we're gonna consider this as the Kraber. Kraber only does happen to show up in the care package, and that's if random. You don't always get a guarantee. It's usually in a sudden death round of anything or a very, very late tiebreaker. So that is almost a guaranteed win if you know how to use it. I would say a good majority of people nowadays do know how to, even if you can just hold an angle and you smack them. All right, now RE45, I would say as of late and how I've both been using it and how I've been seeing it, the RE45 would end up in the last minute pick. I feel like you wouldn't really want to pick it round one It would be more so like in round 1 and then you didn't realize the game had started and you're like, oh shit, I need to go. That's that. That is that pick. Next we have the Mastiff. The Mastiff's okay and it hits hard up, very, very up close when ADS. But aside from that, I really think it just falls into a round 1 pick. For me, I don't think a lot of people win a lot of rounds. I mean, granted, if you see this and you wanna like go in the comments, but like I won a lot of rounds with the Mastiff, go right ahead. But it's never been the main pick, like your first choice gun when doing it. It's normally like you just picked an AR or an LMG and you're like, I need a shotgun, so I'll pick a shotgun last. Next we have a devotion. If you guys haven't already seen already, I have a full devotion video on whether or not it is broken. I used to have it in a like a what the fuck last minute type pick, but from playing a lot of the games and actually going through it, I actually find it very typical that a lot of people have been running the devotion, especially if one person on the other team ran a devotion and they were annihilating you, then basically they were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna run it now. All right, next we have the Volt SMG. Ooh. Now I know by default, a lot of people are gonna say it's a guaranteed win. Other people will say it's typical because a lot of people pick it. I know it is a good round 1 pick. It is a good round 2 pick. Good round 3 if you don't tie. And then, honestly, I feel like any round you grab the Volt, not even depending on the level. Like, you could have gotten it round 1, the base of it, you can win that round. You can get it round 2, make it go to blue, you can win the round. So, with that inevitably being said, the Volt is a guaranteed win weapon. Now, Mozambique. I feel like a lot of people would immediately put it in like what the fuck, or put it in like last minute pick, or be like, oh, it's just a round 1 pick. I, on the other hand, have gotten some sweet, and I mean sweet kills with the Mozambique. I have to put it in typical. It is not a guaranteed win, mostly because it's just like if someone has an EVA 8, the same round you have the Mozambique, and like they hit more of their shots in a sense, then you're losing that round. So it's not a guaranteed win. It's one of those things that's like, if you're going up against whatever they are going up against and you have about the same health, are you going to win that fight? Next, we have the new baby of mine, that I like to call it, and that is the Rampage. The Rampage, for me, I feel like it's hit or miss. For this, I'm gonna use this one as the base one. So we're using this as the base one. For the base one without the thermite, I would say it is a very typical as of late. It's really good long range, long to mid range. You're winning most of your fights. You're normally hitting like, if you can hit anywhere from 3 to 4 consistent shots, you just killed this guy and knocked him. I knocked him and killed the guy. And that was basically with about like 30 bullets. And you did it in 3 shots. Now, on the other hand, when you're using it and you try to get that close range to mid range with a thermite, that's when it capitalizes as a guaranteed win. I have won a vast majority of my rampage. I have won a vast majority of my rampage fights when I had a thermite in it. Then and solely the base. That's why thermite, guaranteed win. Regular rampage, typical. That being said, I do not find the Rampage at all OP. If anyone is calling it OP and broken and all this shit, I'm like, no, because the fire rate alone leaves that marginal error that a lot of people fuck up. Now, the one that I've left the care package and is freely able to pick round 1 and the entire game, Prowler. There's nothing else I need to say. What the fuck? No, I'm just kidding. The Prowler is a guaranteed win. If you are not running the Prowler at any point, during your arenas matches, especially during your ranked matches, you are not winning rounds. Like, you are not winning rounds, especially with the person who's picking that Prowler has found his way or her way to you, and they are annihilating your ass with 2 bursts. Next, we have the R301. Now, the R301 is to me, it's a very iffy category because it's just like a lot of people use it, a lot of people win with it, but there's a vast majority that do not win with it. So for me, I throw it into the typical just because it's like a lot of people use it. There's not a lot of wins going on with it for lower level people who are just playing arena to have fun and like that. Yeah, a lot of the people who are like hard grinding it are like, oh yeah, I got like 56 back-to-back wins with the R301 only, even though it's not a round 1 pick. Alright, next we have the Hemlock. The Hemlock, if we were a couple seasons back, or not, like about 2 seasons back, I would put the Hemlock in like a last minute to round 1 pick. Mostly because of how it is. But with the recent like sort of buffs that we have been getting to the Hemlock, it does throw itself into the typical category. I've been playing with a lot of teammates, especially when I was doing my placement matches for arenas, that it was just like the Hemlock was getting picked a lot, and I was watching a lot of people go down from my teammates that were using the Hemlock, and I was like, it might be good. And I used it for a couple rounds, and I was like, yeah, they're not wrong. It is a very, very good gun. Is it a guaranteed win? No, just because of the burst delay and the burst spread at range. Oh, that was a little bit tighter. Yeah, it would be a guaranteed win. But for now, typical. Now we have the Havoc. The Havoc for me, being where it stands in Season 10, would have to end up in round 1. I don't see it being used past that. If you wanted to use an energy weapon that has like the recoil pattern between the Devotion and the Volt, yeah, go for the Havoc. However, the other one that a lot of people are really missing out on, and it's the next one up on this, is the L-Star. The L-Star, if you guys haven't read the patch notes, just hope you read it. It allows you to carry an energy mag and a barrel mod. So, with that being said, the L-Star at all rounds, if you know how to control this recoil, and it's not the hardest recoil to do, even though it bounces around a little bit, it is not the hardest recoil, especially when it has a large projectile. I have seen more people win using the L-Star, especially myself, in arena games than any other gun thus far this. And this is just the first week that I've. So with that being said, I will place the L-Star in a guaranteed win. Now this was an A, B, C, D, E, F list like I did last time. I put the L-Star in C, but god damn, dude. God damn that L-Star's. Alright, now Peacekeeper. I am probably going to get a lot of shit for this. And I mean a lot of shit. But for me, the Peacekeeper, just like the Mastiff, but it's just before the Mastiff, is a round 1 pick. I just feel like the time in between shots, especially when people are using like SMGs and like full sending you, using the EVA 8s. If you're picking a Peacekeeper like outside of round 1, I don't know what to say. There's not a lot you can fully like goodly do. And yeah, that's it. I don't know. I can't say too much about the Peacekeeper. I don't like to run it. I've only ran it like I think 2 or 3 times this season. I've never been shot or killed by a Peacekeeper. I haven't even heard one being used in arena. Yeah, fuck it. Next we have the R99. This is my 1-clip baby. I love this gun so much, but I also can't be biased for it. Because me, every round I've used the R9, I've essentially won. However, every time that I've seen other people use it. It hasn't been a guaranteed win. I feel like the R99 is the gun that a lot of people resort back to because they remember their season 1, their season 0, and they're like, oh, I used to rock this, but this is arena. We have a lot of close range fights. There's a lot of good close range guns, and for that reason, it is going into the typical category. Why this 30-30 repeaters on here again? I want to know. So next we have the P2020. We already know where that is. If you're running the P2020, even in round 1, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I get it if it's your secondary and you just didn't want the Mozambique, but why didn't you want the Mozambique? The Mozambique hits a lot harder. I was just like, I've hit more consistent shots with the Mozambique than the P2020. Most people just spam the P2020 and they miss like half their fucking shots. I'm just saying. I know who you are because you were my teammate and you're trash. Alright, moving on. We have the Longbow. And with the Longbow comes Longbow abilities. And with the abilities of the Longbow God, we come guaranteed win. I don't care what y'all say. I've won every round that I've played using the Longbow. Now, you want to test it out for yourself. You can watch Nicewig, you can watch Designful. There's a lot of motherfuckers that have used the Longbow and have won multiple fights. Now, if I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Good friend, Montana. You guys don't know him. He's Modfina on YouTube. The man makes the flatline look like it has non-existent recoil. This man will beam you out of the sky with 5 freaking shots. All right? And you can't tell me that you can't guarantee wins with the flatline. Because if you can't hit your shots with the flatline, what are you doing? Guaranteed win, buddy. Guaranteed. Oh no, we have the charge rifle. I personally do not like the charge rifle. I find the charge rifle to be rather annoying. If you love the charge rifle, go, more props to you, but I hate the charge rifle. I use the charge rifle when I'm mad and I just want to like annoy the shit out of the other team because they were being annoying as shit. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna beam you for no good reason aside from that. But I would say the charge rifle, as much as I use it outside of round 1, it is for the fact of anger outside of round 1. But I don't see it going outside of it. Like, if you want to pick round 1, then you're going to be that guy that causes the other team to be complete assholes the rest of the game. And they're going to be like, all right, well, if you're going to sit back and do all this stuff, we're going to sit back and we're going to snipe too. And now, last but most certainly not least, this is probably one of the more higher skilled used weapons. Give or take, it's not in its season 0 state. A lot of people do miss a lot of their shots, which is why I say it is a very high skill. You can't spam this gun. And I've also seen a lot of people really good with it. I'm above average at best with it. So, with that being said, the Wingman is our very last guaranteed win gun. That's my tier list. If you honestly don't like any rankings of this, feel free to like tell me how you would rank or where you would switch certain guns. And yeah, I was like, I'm open for the debate for it as much as I was just like, nah, bro, there's no debate on this gun. But you guys have your opinions. You can put it in the comments, be like, hey, yo, the fucking Mastiff belongs in guaranteed win, or the Mastiff belongs in like, what the fuck, dude. But yeah, leave it in the comments down below. All right, and if you enjoyed the video, once again, I'm pretty sure I might have said this, maybe not. Leave a like down below and subscribe. All right, it's fun, you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.